Welcome to Radicards TV on Radicards.com. I'm your host Patrick Greeno, and here I have my buddy Dan G.
How's it going, Pat?
Hey Dan, how's it going?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been a couple months, it seems like.
Yeah.
Maybe before the World Series this year. So my original plan was to showcase 2 Red Sox cards today, but I couldn't outmatch Dan's Red Sox card. So I was like, well, time has passed since the World Series now, some weeks, so it's not a bad idea just to like do a normal, grab some cards and just talk about them. So I'll let Dan start it off since it is a Red Sox card that he brought.
Sure.
And Dan, let's tell me about what you brought today.
So this is a 2012 Bowman Platinum Dustin Pedroia relic card, autoed, numbered 3 of 5, and it kind of has like this superfractor technology, but it's not a 1 of 1, and it's not that gold foil. It's more silver. So I didn't really know a whole lot about this card. Really never researched it. It was an impulse buy at one of the Chicago Nationals. Some guy had it in the case, and I thought it was reasonably priced, especially since Dustin Pedroia doesn't sign a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
remember what you played for?
I want to say it was less than $80.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't remember for sure. I just remember at the time I was like, it's a pretty good deal. And so I purchased it, and then interestingly enough, about 4 tables down from the guy I bought it from, there was number 4 of 5, right? and I thought, well, maybe I should buy it and have 2 of them.
Right.
But I passed, and I think that guy wanted, probably about 125, 150. So mine was significantly cheaper than what that guy was asking.
It's nice to
So
hear.
yeah, no. So I only have a couple Pedroias in the collection, and this is just one of them. And I actually really like the card.
Yeah.
The only gripe I have is that it's so cool and flashy, right? But it's got the sticker auto. But I guess it can't be perfect.
Right. This card it reminds me of 1996 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractors with the box matrix. This is essentially the same design brought back into the modern era, which I think it's tastefully done on this product. And I really like the way that the Topps incorporated some of that like 90s theme into some of the modern stuff, especially with these sort of like these elusive parallels.
Right.
And Pedroia, I don't know how heavily collected he is in the hobby. I don't see too many people that have stuff of his.
Right.
And so it's nice to see that we're showcasing something. But I share the same view as you that like something like this, if it were an on card, it would just be so much cooler.
So much better.
So much better. But and that's a common theme among a lot of collectors is that, a lot of us share that interest in the on-card auto as opposed to sticker, especially when it comes to super elusive parallels. But this one I think is tastefully done, at least for what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for the deal that you got it from, like you said less than 80.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was less than 80.
And you pick up a few Pedroia cards from here and there, right?
Yeah,
kind of like
occasionally. Yeah, I think he's a great guy, and has done well for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Didn't play this year, but hopefully see him back in the lineup.
Sure.
So
let's take a look at that. That's really cool. That's nice, man. I mean, the sticker's pretty subtle. It's subtle enough.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Wow, good stuff, man. So this is the 2012
correct
Bowman Platinum game used auto of Dustin Pedroia number 5. That like cool 96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor theme in the background.
Right.
Really awesome stuff, man. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
The one I brought is so a little story before we get into this is that I'd been watching this card for a number of years, and I just, since when I discovered it day one, I was like, it's way overpriced. I always knew it was way overpriced. And then this card is a parallel in a set that this player is featured twice in, and this is the subset of version. This is the other card in the set at the end of the set that features him, and we're just gonna get straight into it here, and we'll talk about it as I bring it up here. It's the 99 Fleer Tradition starting 9, and this is the right, the franchise futures subset of Travis Lee, which is it's at the end of the set, little subset, um, and it's the starting 9 parallel number to 9. And so this card was listed for like $200 for a long time. And I was like, well, it'd be great to have, but $200 is really steep for Travis Lee. And so recently, the other card in the set, the other starting 9 of Travis Lee in the set was listed on CMC. And it initially was $200. And I was like, that's just not going to happen. So I waited some months, and then CMC had their sale, their
Black
holiday
Friday.
sale. Yeah, and I look. That's the one sale I look forward to every year is their Black Friday sale. And because I don't really do the Black Friday thing anyway, but so like that online thing, it really works for me the way I buy. And so the other card in the set, the Travis Lee starting 9, was marked down to $60 during the sale, and I was like, grab it for 60.
Right.
And so when I bought that, I messaged the seller of this card, and I was like, I just bought the other version of this card on CMC for 60. So I offered this guy $65, and I was like, it'd be great if I can get this one too into the collection. I know it's quite a bit less than your asking price, but the other one was listed initially at $200 and didn't sell, and so he accepted. And so I got this one too, and I was really happy to have this in addition to the other one I bought around the same time. I think around the same day, really. And the guy has a bunch of great pieces, and this was really kind of one of the only ones I really cared about. But this is the franchise futures subset starting 9 parallel of Travis Lee for 1999 Fleer Tradition. Really cool stuff.
Cool. Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, you don't see starting 9s too frequently. They pop here and there because people know that they're popular. That's how it was shipped to me in the magnet with the bag over it. So I'm gonna get it into a card saver one and get it up on the museum. I just haven't had time because of miscellaneous holiday things and whatever. But really great card. I think the starting 9s are cool. The flat blue foil, I would have loved for that blue to have been a hollow foil. I think that really would have been the cherry on the top there on the cake, because it's such a rare parallel. Having a little bit more flash, I think would have been cool. I've seen commons sell between anywhere from $5 to $20 for commons.
Okay.
And then I've seen superstars sell for 4 figures, depending on what the card, who the player is. Like big dollar figures. It's rare that happens. Usually the superstars are closed in the high threes, I think, like the Ripkins, and Jeter would probably be a big catch. I know Jeter and Griffey are going to be the bigger ones. Ripken will also be a big sale as well in the set. But guys like Gwynn, Joe Carter, some of your classics from that era, they can be had for in the triple-digit numbers somewhere in that block. And then semi-stars to minor stars, such as where I think Travis Lee would fall, should be less than $100. That would be my valuation in the current market. But again, I'm not telling you what you're going to pay for these. I'm just telling you what I expect current valuations to be for these types of cards, just based on my research. Because as some of you might know, I do a lot of eBay research on a daily basis, just to keep tabs on what's happening in the market. And as a guy who collected Travis Lee right before I dropped out of the hobby back in '98. This is kind of a nice kind of reminisce of kind of days gone past, and so I was really glad to get this. It's my first starting 9 parallel in my entire collection of everything, non-Thomas and Thomas stuff. And so I was really glad to get this particular card in the collection. Only 9 copies in the world.
Is Thomason?
He is indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He has a card in the base set. I've never seen even a scan or a picture of that card.
Okay.
So I know that it exists because it's my understanding a Thomas collector has managed to acquire one in the past year, and so I still haven't seen the card. I'd love to see just an image of it. I don't know if I'll ever own that card in my archive. I've got other cards that are exceedingly rare that match, if not exceed rarity, than that card in the 90s. So even if I don't find the starting 9 Thomas, I'm happy. I'm content. I would love to be able to find the Thomas. I really would. And I thought for a minute about a year ago, I was like, man, what a cool set to put together. But it's a huge set. Like, this is card 586.
Right.
You know, so it's like, that's a big set, huge. So I myself wouldn't be tempted to ever put the set together because of its size
Right.
and how rare these, you know, parallels
Yeah,
are.
and how many of them are still sitting in sealed wax? And,
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too, is that we look at parallels like this and we think to ourselves, well, how many of them have been pulled
Yeah.
of all the players? You know, and I think about that as like, you know, Crusade Reds, 98 Essential Credentials now. What's been pulled? You know, what hasn't been pulled? What's still sitting? You know, how many 97 Flair Showcase Masterpieces are still sitting in wax, sealed
Right.
wax? I don't know if I've ever even seen a box of that stuff. You know, some of those products are just dang rare, and this is for 99 Fleer Tradition. This is actually a one of several different parallels per card. You got like the warning track, and there's like another parallel, and then there's the base card. And so you've got like 3 or 4 different cards to chase if you're a player collecting in the set. So I don't technically like player collect certain guys. I just like certain cards. Like this kind of falls in that category. Because PCing, how would you define PCing? Like, would it just be every card of one player, or
I have no idea.
how do you define that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had this debate before, and
Yeah.
I don't know what would, like, if there are even parameters for that.
Right.
I think you collect what you like, and
Right.
it's pretty much your PC.
Yeah.
You know,
It's either private collection or player collection. So
Well,
it's like,
I think you and I had the debate because I was picking up cards of Mike Trout and
yeah.
Bryce Harper and other people, and you were mentioning that I was PCing them, but I never really considered myself a collector of those cards. I was more of a hoarder. Like I'm gonna maybe sell these one day, maybe not. But
So I guess in that
Yeah.
definition would be more like private and personal collection
Yeah.
as your PC. For me, PC is like player collection. So I PC Frank Thomas,
yeah,
but I collect cards of other players that I might not really go after in any specific ardent capacity. I just like the cards. You know, I mean, Travis Lee takes me back to my youth, which is why I tend to like gravitate towards some of his stuff. But so does like Ben Grieve and other guys that were popular, like Hideo Nomo is another guy that falls in that. Guys I just liked when I was younger, you know, it just reminds me of being young. Mo Vaughn falls in there, Joe Carter, Tim Salmon, those guys fall in that, like, reminisce of the old days when I was younger kind of thing. You know, the PlayStation 1 era, like that time. And so there you have it. This is the Travis Lee Franchise Futures subset starting 9 parallel from 1999 Fleer Tradition. Do you have any thoughts, Dan?
I'm good.
Yeah? All right. Really cool stuff. I'm glad I got this. I'm happy that the seller worked with me on this. Really, really grateful to have gotten this into the collection. So there you have it. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of that stuff. So cool. There you have it. This is Patrick Greeno, Radicards.com. Thank you for tuning in to Radicards TV on Radicards.com. And until next time, enjoy collecting.
Take care.
If you like this content, please subscribe. Thank you. Enjoy collecting.